I'd like to take us now into our next session, which will be focused on another brand. And this is a brand that I'm delighted to say has actually joined us at Masterclass before and is coming back now with a updated story and updated results and updated insight. So in a moment, it's going to be my very great pleasure to welcome Molton Brown back to Masterclass. If you have not had the opportunity to interact with Molton Brown, you should know that they are an absolutely iconic British brand, and they're famous for high quality, luxurious, uniquely British scented bath and body products. Anybody who lives in the UK is very familiar and has, I'm sure, been into shops and shopped online and taken advantage of their fantastic products. What you may not know is this brand is actually well over 50 years old, and it's grown from what was originally a small artisanal shop to an absolutely international fragrance brand that's actually now part of a broader Japanese brand, which has given it an opportunity to grow and become part of a global luxury cosmetics profile. We've been very fortunate because in the last few years, Molton Brown has been working with SAP to create really distinctive and consistent experiences across store, online, and all the digital touch points with the brand, which I'm sure you can see ties really directly into all the things we've been talking about for the last hour. So in this session, Naresh, who's a senior manager for business transformation and cosmetics brands, is going to walk us through how Molton Brown is engaging customers with personalization and how they're revamping their brand actually across all the engagement and personalization channels. So it's my very great pleasure to welcome Naresh back to Masterclass. Naresh, it's delightful to see you.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon from across the world. Excited to be here. Happy to share our experience.
Wonderful. Well, maybe you could start by telling us a little bit about Molton Brown's sales channels and their customer types.
Molton Brown, in terms of the channels itself, we have a diverse mix, which is standalone stores, and we have retail, travel retail, distributors, outlet, hotel, and e-com. Just to give a snippet of what all these channels is, standalone stores is mainly about, we have our own branded boutiques located in premium retail zones. We offer a full brand experience with expert consultations and exclusive products, attracting loyal brand enthusiasts. At the same time, e-commerce has been a very growing channel for us, especially post-COVID. Our brand online presence has been exceptional in terms of bringing the e-commerce, where we have other multiple applications connected to it. We support D2C channels in terms of personalization, promotional campaigns like Black Friday, etc. Travel retail is we have presented in the famous airports like Heathrow, for example, and travel hubs, catering international travelers. We have some of the focus gift sets for the travelers as well in the products aspect of it. Wholesale is nothing but we have a high-end partnerships across department stores and specialty retailers, and the distributors is part of mainly on the international markets, where we've indirectly partner with other merchandisers and drive the international distributors as well. And the last but not the least is outlets and hotels. Outlets, we have some of the most factory outlets we have across different locations. And in the hotels, we have a unique B2B channel where we have featuring a lot of luxury hotels globally as well. It's just a snippet of showing like where we are existing, because whichever channel the customer goes, they'll be able to get the connected customer experience.
That's amazing. Thank you. I think we'd all agree this is a very complex business that has all kinds of different channels, and pulling that all together is without a doubt a challenge. Maybe you could spend a minute for us, Naresh, talking a little bit about how Molton Brown is setting itself apart from the competition to acquire new customers in this current era.
Great question. I think in terms of the Molton Brown, we set ourselves to acquire new customers, especially in the competitive luxury and lifestyle spaces. We have several pillars. First, I would say, is about the heritage driven in terms of the brand itself. We are a British heritage craftsmanship. We have a legacy since 1971. We connect emotionally with the customer, seeking authentic and heritage and luxury aspect of it. And the second pillar, since it's a premium brand, we mainly focus on the premium personalization and lifecycle marketing, which is really main core is to get the personalized experiences for the customers through email or the web experiences. We also working on predictive product recommendations and to target some of the acquisition and reactivation journeys from the consumer point of view. That deep personalization, which was our main aim, is to build the trust, relevance, and help the convert first-time buyers into loyal customers. And the third pillar would be one of the we talked about is about the omnichannel experience. Molton Brown, we drive a seamless shopping journey across e-commerce. Whether you go to stores, you have a consistent connected customer experience. Whether you go to the e-commerce site and if you see the product category, bath, body, and if you go to the store, you still have in the same aisle, we also have the product assortment. So we don't really confuse the customers as well. So we want to give what they want. And also other than that, in the omnichannel point of view, we have click and collect, loyalty rewards, and store to home shipping, etc. And the fourth main important would be is about the cultural relevance and content, because we'll talk about that in a minute later about brands. Our brand shift towards cultural in terms of the brand itself is mainly about inclusive marketing, TikTok, Instagram, influencer collaborations, etc. We have a major sales when it comes to Black Friday, friends and family. We bring all this experience together for the consumers itself. And other than that, we do have sustainability, ESG as well. So we do have a refillable bottles and strong sustainability narrative from the leadership team as well. And also in terms of the loyalty and referral programs we have Emarsys implemented as well. Other than the Commerce Cloud, we do drive loyalty and other related marketing programs as well. And this is some of the examples where you can see where we really brand proposition itself, not just about the channels, but also about understanding the customer behavior. Where you go to the different taxis, we rolled out this campaign last year, and we well received as well about the brand itself.
Well, I think we can safely say that you have embraced the concept of a very competitive environment and a need to really maximize your brand and think about channels and think about individuals as much as possible, which is really exciting. So you've talked a lot about acquiring customers. Can we talk a little bit about how once you've acquired a customer, how are you using what you know about them, that data that you've gathered, to keep those customers engaged and with you going forward?
Yeah, great question. I think in terms of the one main thing we talk about is about the lifecycle marketing, which is one of the reasons we partnered with SAP Emarsys to bring lifecycle marketing in terms of to orchestrate highly tailored customer journeys in terms of, for example, understanding the purchase history of the customer data, browsing behavior, email engagement, and CRM. All these profiles we were able to understand by sending welcome series emails, understanding the post-purchase journeys and loyalty lifecycle. This is a core. With that, we are also now working on how to bring the personalization through predictive intelligence as well. Of course, Emarsys is an application which we have integrated other than Commerce Cloud, but our main aim is to understand how the customers are behaving across different channels and what is the channel they prefer and what products they are trying to get. So it's also about driving the campaigns. We'll also understand what the business customer is looking for, the next favorite fragrance they're rating. Maybe the predictive interest is important from the consumer point of view. We also have triggered and behavioral campaigns, which we do with the browser abandonment, cart abandonment, back in stock alerts, etc. So this is all personalization comes into play, where we do the channel optimization as well with applications like Content Square or Fresh Relevance to consistently understand the mobile behavior as well. And the last would be about the loyalty and referral intelligence as well. And wanted to show that this is our technology in terms of the revenue growth, how we are driving it across new customers, as talked about it. One thing is important from the customer point of view is about feedback loop and sentiment analysis is very critical. Understand the post-purchase surveys, review the platform, understand what the consumer is looking for, and then you shape the product recommendations and campaign tone, etc. All this, our digital team comes and bring the segmentation to the scale where leadership team can make a decision about VIP customers and different product categories, etc. We wanted to show about our roadmap to scale in terms of where we are going towards from the automated channel journeys till the loyalty marketing, so which we are on track. And it's a journey, customer journey takes, because the more and more we always think about we know our customers, we don't know our customers. We're learning every day to be very straightforward on that.
I love that. We don't know our customers. We're learning every day. I think that goes back to all the things that we've been talking about really getting to that one-to-one conversation with each of your customers, but doing it at scale. And then also that wealth of data, right? If you don't respect it and use it, then you can't possibly know your customers. So I think that really emphasizes a lot of points that we've been touched on already today. So thank you for that. Tell us a little bit how taking that data and connecting the channels has actually helped you to elevate the content that you've been able to share with your customers.
It's transformational, I would say, because connecting channels and the data has been transformation for Molton Brown in elevating the content, creating more richer experience. We actually evolved from a very static e-commerce to more dynamic e-commerce engagement, where you have multiple videos on the site, where you have multiple showing about the product usage, etc. It is not just a static as well. So we have been working across different channels as well in terms of the different, like for example, CRM, loyalty, email, hotel, etc. So where you see on the channel, where you see on the screen right now, in terms of we have multiple behaviors across the different channels, whether you go to the message, the content is different. Why the content is different? Because we have tailored across different channels. Mobile first designs and smarter segmentation is going to helpful. And we are also going to we're also working on real-time personalization as well, which we're going to take that forward in terms of the different channels has been helpful. The content, when you go, whether social media or whether you go to e-commerce or whether you get an email, the content is not the same. We have a dynamic content based upon the audience. We are able to give that channel. For example, Gen Z never checks even their emails. For example, they go on the social media. We want to make sure that they get the content, what they would look like. And also from the email point of view, we want to make sure the content is for that particular customer, it is more apt in terms of their purchasing behavior, what product they're looking for. So all this is very critical for us in terms of driving the data as well, and also bringing the cultural relevant content in the campaigns aspect of it. For example, when we do a Black Friday campaign, we understand what is the consumer behavior, what's happened for the year, understand about their location, past behavior as well. So we're going to understand what their influencer data across different channels. All this comes together for the omnichannel store experience aspect of it. Connected customer experience will be achieved when we get all this data together to understand the customer behavior. So it's completely, the decision is done, whether it is copy or campaign is all data driven. Whether it's the visuals or the copy formats, it's most engaging as well. We want to ensure there is a storytelling elements across different channels is there. If you see here, this is one of the snapshot of the different social media channels, how we are performing, and we are continuing to establish ourselves as well. And as I mentioned about the content shift across different channels is very critical. So the copy or the content is completely different across different channels. And in terms of just to show about, we rolled out Emarsys last year in May, and we do have Commerce Cloud, we do have Emarsys. So this is just to show the snapshot of how we improved our experience in terms of connected customer experience, the revenue or the database, in terms of the open rates and increase of the subscribers, whether it's a loyalty or whether it's a subscription model or whether it is a different channel. This is the snapshot of just to show what is our result per se, and also in terms of the shopper's perspective as well. Consumers, as we talked about, are asking for how sustainable is every product today. So ESG customers has been coming back to our stores and getting the products as well. So in terms of the average order value or the purchase frequency has been increasing as well.
That's fantastic. I hope everybody's hearing all this. I mean, what comes across loud and clear is this isn't easy and it's complicated, but if you take the right approach to it and you have a structure to what you're doing, it can be done, and you're very clearly demonstrating the rewards that you're reaping from doing it.
Yeah, it's a continuous journey. The more we learn about our customers, we'll also work with the right technology. Ultimately, at the end of the day, technology should enable the business success. So that's where SAP is going to play a bigger role in terms of their product category, product categorization, etc. So it's all about how do we ensure that we give the customers what they want, and also we bring more marketing experiences or commerce experiences through any brand. How to drive personalization at scale.
So there are a couple questions that have come in. So I'm going to keep you for another moment or two if I could, because they spoke directly to a few things that you just said towards the end there. You talk a little bit about what the biggest value you've seen from connecting your commerce and your marketing experiences, because not everybody's been able to do that.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's one of the biggest value in terms of connected customer and marketing experience for Molton Brown is dive deeper into the personalization from the consumer point of view, which is directly impacting the customer lifetime value, conversion, and brand loyalty. How we do that? So one is about, there's a lot of data across different channels. Collect the data, understand how do we bring actionable engagement using SAP Commerce Cloud, for example, or Emarsys or loyalty platforms. Every interaction, which is whether it is browsing a product or redeeming a loyalty points or engaging with the campaign, just understand about what is the value we can bring for the customer, whether it is a higher open or the click-through rates or increase average order value. Can we do some cross-sell journeys? And how do we reduce any churn due to timely re-engagement? That is one thing. And second is, to get a seamless omnichannel experience, commerce and marketing are no longer siloed. What customer does online informs in-store interactions or vice versa. This is a very critical thing business needs to understand. A customer who abandons their cart, for example, online, may receive a store-specific reminder or incentive to complete purchase nearby. That is the methodology which we have used, which will help in terms of increased footfall, stronger channel energy, and better at ROI clarity, I would say. And we also talked about the content, because content is not just about the copy or text. It has to do the conversion for the customers or for the different generations. Because marketing content is not just about awareness anymore. It's about understanding the storytelling, whether it's an email or whether it is Instagram or whether it is e-commerce. What is the value you're going to bring the customer? Because no customer wants to spend time on the channels where they're not getting anything. So conversion is very important through the content. And last, about agility in terms of when you do the campaign execution, ensure there is more agility across different customer experiences. For example, you have a stock level, you have a customer behavior. Yeah, how do we bring all this together, more reactive, relevant campaigns, and reduce any marketing waste you want to do, but have more unified KPI across the teams as well. This all comes together to elevate the customer experience. It's actually emotional resonance that's also related to the repeat purchases. It's more about stronger brand equity as well.
I think that was a very impassioned representation of why this matters. And I think aside from the results you're seeing, I think it's exciting to see you as a marketing leader be so passionate about this and care so much about delivering these kind of experiences. We've had a few other things come in. A number of people have said you're clearly well on a journey here. What advice would you have for other business leaders who are looking to take their customer experience to the next level digitally?
Great question. I think it's one of the critical one in today's landscape. For business leaders embarking on digital transformation of the customer experience, first, we need to start with the customer, not with the tech. Too often, transformation begins with selecting the platforms, but we need to flip it. Understand your customer journeys, pain points, and expectations first. Map key lifecycle movements like acquisition or loyalty, reactivation, etc. Use that, define what great looks like across different touch points. Then tech should enable that in terms of the strategy. Use technology to have your strategy successful. And then break down silos between commerce, marketing, data. All this should come together. The real transformation happens when these teams across different cross-functional speak the same language, operate and share the same goals. Because when you have a unified KPIs across channels, the transformation already starts. And then you can create a cross-functional squads and invest in some of the data flow that's happening. So the customer, at the end of the day, customer doesn't see all the cross-functional departments or even the tech. They see one brand, the connected customer experience. They want to have fast, agile, sustainability, etc. So, but behind the scenes, this is very important. And also, not just about personalize, make it more humanized, because use data to create relevance. Should not lose the brand voice or emotional connection with the customers or the consumers, because that is where it helps. Personalization is more than an email or a content or timing. It's more about emotional connection. Show up empathy during the moments that really matters. For example, holidays, milestones, life milestones, feedback loops, etc. It's not just about segmenting through the age or gender. It's more about storytelling and bring the automation journeys as well. And test, learn, and move fast. We always have to think about that. We always not start big, start small and scale smart is what I would say.
I think that was really insightful. Thank you. I think some of the things that stood out to me is the be human part, because it's so easy to get, as you said, put the customer before the technology, put the person before the technology. Think of it. These are real individuals at the end of it. And if you don't think about them that way, I think you lose that connection before you've actually ever started.
Yeah, I think one thing is about technology should grow with any business vision. It should not box it in. And that is important as well. And every businesses have their own culture and et cetera about how the digital transformation comes into play. We have to think about how to inspire our own teams in terms of the customer experience, and transformation will follow automatically.
Agreed. So you've mentioned a number of times that you're on a journey. So it behooves me to ask you, what's next in your digital transformation journey? It feels like it's going to continue.
Yeah. Well, first thing would be to go in depth of personalization. For example, one of the reasons we got Emarsys or loyalty programs to understand consumer better, understand product recommendations, to bring predictive product recommendations, for example, or dynamic lifecycle triggers, or content. Continuously improve your copy or text, because it's not the same every time, because people are thinking of different aspects of it. And have smarter loyalty as well. So bring the loyalty programs and see how the messaging, for example, a sustainable customer comes back and we see that average transaction value is already improving. So how do we empower them to make more VIP customers, for example? So bring more loyalty in depth, and deeper omnichannel intelligence is something that we're looking for. Analyzing the customer journey holistically, identify friction points, optimize campaigns, build a content based on the actual behavior. The goal is to deliver seamless, emotional, resonant experience, but it's a journey. The journey is already started, but we're continuing the journey to have that experience. And I hope that.
Thank you for that. I think there were a lot of things that were inspirational in there, and I think there's a lot everybody can learn. So I would like to just pause for a moment and thank you again so much, Naresh, for joining us. I think it's been really fascinating to hear last year where you were starting and the incredible progress that just a year on has made. And I think you're going to have to come back next time and update us on where you're going and what the next exciting thing is.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And one thing is, digital transformation is not just for us, is not just about the roadmap. It's a mindset. We are agile, we are customer obsessed, we're always looking ahead.
As you should be. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody. You'll see Naresh's details are available on the screen. So if you'd like to connect with him, I'm sure he'd be delighted to hear from you and answer any questions that we didn't get a chance to get to on this session.